Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. Today we are going to be planning out the pretty much last week of January in my A5 Sterling ink common planner. So the main decoration I'm going to be using today, minus like the little stickers I typically use, is from the washi tape shop. This is one of their new releases. This is the 𝗦𝘃𝗫𝗁 PET tape. They also have this in a washi version. I absolutely adore the floral tapes from the washi tape shop. I think they're always fantastic. They always look beautiful on any kind of paper, white paper, cream paper, 𝗪𝘳𝑚 paper, just regular thick paper. They always are a hit. And you can use code Danielle10 to save 10% off with your washi tape order, or just use my link, and I appreciate you helping to support my channel. But enough with that. I just want to jump straight into this and kind of work through what I have going on this week, because it's going to be a really, really busy week ahead. So let's just get straight into this. So starting off with the sidebar, I wanted to list out some of the major tasks that I have going on this week. That being that I'm having a new release on my shop on Friday, the 26th. We're going to be having lots of new things added. So if you're interested in any of the details on that, make sure to join my Facebook group. It is private and it is a wonderful space. Next, I need to make sure that I'm planning out the rest of my month of February, specifically for my garden planner, which brings me to the next little thing that I need to get done this week, and that is start out our January seeds. So I like to wait until pretty much the end of January to get anything started for my garden, just in case we have some overly freezing temperatures in March. So if I get things started at the end of January, they essentially have about a month to grow in my little garden room before I can transport them outside when the weather gets nicer. But more on that when I do a video on my garden planner again. The rest of the tasks that I have this week mainly involve finances, because it is tax season, unfortunately, and also calling my brother about some new things that he has going on. Also in my sidebar, I've been including a little section for my extra projects. So these are just things that I know I want to work on, but it's not like urgent. I recently got not an ink Rolodex, but I got a Rolodex, and I really want to categorize and catalog my inks using the Rolodex. I'm really excited about this project, and I've been trying to slowly chip away at my ink collection, which if you're a fan of any of the videos I've done for inks, you will know that collection is pretty vast. So it's going to be a pretty big project that's going to take me a hot minute to finish. And the other project that I'm trying to work on is swatching out my PET tapes. So I want to make sure that I'm cataloging those as well and seeing what I have, what I want to use, if it matches what I'm going for, versus having to flip through all the different, binders or go through my drawers or anything to find a specific tape. I can just flip through a book really quick, see which one I want, and go find it. And the last thing I love including in my sidebar is something that I started at the end of 2023, and that is my Rate This Week section. I've been using my 5-star rating trackers for my shop, and it has been so much fun to fill these in and kind of give myself an idea of how my week went. So far, I don't think I've had a 1-star week, so I'm doing okay there. The next thing I wanted to do was go ahead and decorate using that tape that I mentioned before, the washi tape shop's 𝗦𝘃𝗫𝗁, but I also wanted to do kind of like an underlay or collage aspect of this by adding a little bit of washi tape. This washi tape is from Notebook Therapy. I don't remember which set it came from. I don't have the box anymore, but it is kind of like a purpley stamp moon and flower tape. I felt it would match really well with the 𝗦𝘃𝗫𝗁 from the washi tape shop. Something else that I've really been enjoying with the common planner is trying to make use of all of the space that I have, and I've been trying to make a list in a way of the different things that I'm doing throughout the week. So the first section I want to have is all about cleaning. And the whole point of adding this section to my planner has been to help me stay accountable to my cleaning tasks. I really fell off the wagon at the end of 2023 with keeping on top of all of my cleaning. I like to try to do our house pretty much once a week. So I guess that sounds kind of weird. I like to have one room a day that I work on, so that way at least some of our house is clean if anybody comes over, or just it's clean. Having a clean house is really important to me. So by having this little list at the bottom of my weekly, it helps me check off what rooms I've gotten done and also see where I'm not cleaning very often. So I can see over the weeks, hopefully, where I need to put more of my focus towards and better plan around cleaning that space when I have time. The other thing that I have been adding to all of my weekly spreads is a little habit tracker. And this is a space that I'm keeping really simple, and it's kind of repetitive because I am tracking some of these things in other places, but I really want to document this weekly, like to see if I'm staying on top. And the habits that I'm trying to track are my 5-year diary entries for my 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗁 5-year, my reading habits, my daily walks, my Spanish practice, and then also my art practice. I'm trying to do a lot more daily art practice this year. So by having this space to check off, I'm hoping it will keep me more accountable. Okay, now that the basic setup is done for my week, I'm going to add in the weather at the top. Now, unfortunately, the weather forecast for next week is basically raining every single day here in Texas. So I got to use my cute little 𝗏�coffeemonsters weather icons that I am just working my way through. And we only have 2 days of bliss with no rain. I am going to go ahead and add in the different temperatures based on what they're predicting. I know they're not going to be very accurate. I mainly just want to see this as a way of, okay, I know it's going to be raining these days, so I need to work on this or film this because I'm going to have bad lighting or whatever. Like, I just want to see it more on this planner versus just in my garden planner. And being that we are in Texas, the weather is going to be pretty mild, even though it is going to be raining. The next thing I'm going to document is when the full moon is this week. I love to track the moon phases and the moon cycles. If you've followed any of my history on this channel, you probably know that I like to keep track of it in a few other places. And this year I have a tarot journal that I'm really keeping track of it. But specifically for this planner, I want the full moon here because of my tasks that I'm trying to get done, which I'll explain in a second. Now let's actually get into the things that I need to get done this week. So starting off on Monday, I'm going to use one of the little chicken stickers from my shop. It's the strutting chickens. And I need to change out our chicken coop bedding, which is never really a fun task. If I'm being honest, it's pretty smelly and pretty gross. But after that, we are going to be going to the gym. So I'm going to be doing a back workout on Monday, which we've been kind of waiting to go back to the gym until a few weeks into January, just so that way it's not insane with the amount of people that are going to be going to the gym. I find that it's a bit excessive when it comes to the people that go to the gym in the new year. And so we like to wait a little bit and see if anybody falls off, which sounds terrible, but it is what it is. Next, I'm going to take one of the 𝗦𝘃𝗄𝗏 stickers from my shop and just document that I'm going to be doing my morning routine. I typically like to have either coffee or tea, depends on the day, and I like to make sure that I'm doing a few chores as the morning starts. And then after that, I basically just get to work. And I'm going to be using my tiny work stickers as well to just kind of denote when I'm starting work here. And I'm going to work essentially until probably about 2, and that's just until I'm gonna have lunch basically. But the things that I really need to work on Monday are some formatting things. I have a Uline order coming in. I have a Ferris wheel press thing I need to do, and I also need to work on my purple inks video that I promised you guys. That will probably take up a good chunk of time. So after that, I'm going to have lunch, and we are working our way through our salads that we have been accumulating based on our grocery store visits. So I'm just going to put a nice big block of time here for lunch. And then after that, I will likely be getting back into work until about 6. And I'm just going to leave the rest of that space blank because I'll probably have stuff I need to add into it as the day goes on. Then it's going to be time for dinner. And I don't really know what we're having for dinner yet, so I'm just going to put dinner. So the next thing I've been doing is essentially leaving the bottom section and labeling it as fun. So I say fun because this is like my attempt at work-life balance here, where I take the rest of the evening off to work on stuff for me versus for like my business or anything else. So I've been making my way through quite a few things on my list of fun, but the main things that I have been enjoying so far are reading and watching TV shows. So I'm going to just kind of list out a few things here, and I think I want to do reading more than anything else, so I'm going to make that a bigger section. And what I'm currently reading is Shadow and Bone. It's not the same as the show on Netflix. I really enjoyed the show on Netflix, but I'm finding the books much better. I mean, that's usually how things go, right? But I'll give you guys an update once I finish them. But if I don't read, I've been also watching the show on Netflix called Travelers. It's a Netflix original. It's also really interesting. It's about people traveling from the future into past bodies to change history. It's very interesting. Moving on into Tuesday, we're basically continuing on with our gym practice. So I'm going to be doing a chest day on Tuesday. And I'm going to use one of my tiny tea bags instead of a coffee mug for Tuesday to just mark out when I'm doing my morning routine. So Tuesday, I am going to be doing my product photos for my release on Friday, just so that way I have everything kind of situated how I want. I also want to make an Instagram reel, and then I want to work on my purple inks again, just because I want to have that hopefully up by Wednesday. I'm then going to take a lunch break and then get back to work for a little bit. We are going to be dropping off things at the post office at 4:30, and then when we get back, it will be dinner again. Trying to stay consistent. Again, not sure what I'm having for dinner, but I'm just going to use this little emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. And then for my fun, still going to do the same as Monday. Moving right along into Wednesday, we are going to be doing a leg day, but I'm probably going to be doing more of like a chill leg day because I don't want to go too crazy since we've been going just walking so far and I haven't done a leg day in a hot minute. So we're going to just take it slow. And then on Wednesday, I have, like I said, the Purple Inks video that I'm trying to get up. And then I will likely do something with Instagram, as well as check on my emails and comments. And then likely the rest of the day will just be typical packing stuff. And then for lunch on Wednesday, I'm just going to use this little cooking emoji again, just to signify that I'm probably going to cook something. Likely, since it's going to be like the third day of rain, it'll probably be something like pasta, is my guess. I find that rainy weather or like really cold weather like we've been having, I've been craving lots of pasta and soup and carbs, and I think that's just how things go. After lunch, if I don't have anything else to do for the releases on Friday, I plan on taking a good chunk of time to plan out my month of February. And that's mainly for the garden planner, since I'm going to be starting seeds on the next day. And I'm probably just going to leave the rest of Wednesday blank in case I want to go back in with something else. Moving on into Thursday, the day of our full moon, I am going to do another back workout. And after that workout, again, I'm just kind of creating my little morning routine here. It's going to be pretty consistent for most days, gym, morning routine, get into work. So for the rest of Thursday, after I have finished all of my stuff for the new release prep, it's going to be a seed starting marathon, essentially. I always like to start my seeds at the end of January, like I mentioned, just because it gives enough time without too much time to let them grow indoors. But I also am trying to follow some planting guides like planting by the moon phases. So I really wanted to start my seeds on the full moon this year, and it just so happened it lined up pretty well with being the end of January. What I like to get started is what I call the salsa mix. And that's things like my tomatoes, my tomatillos, my hot peppers, sweet peppers, get my onions started, and then also a few flowers. I don't start everything all at once because I don't have enough room for that. And also because I like to stage it out in case we have some crazy weather or something that just takes out everything. It doesn't really help me to prep everything once and then have it all wiped out and then having to prep it again. Versus if I did it in stages, some things may survive and then I don't have to replant everything, just that one small batch that got wiped out. And then for dinner on Thursday, we are going to try to make tacos. We're going to do carnitas tacos most likely. We basically make everything from scratch, from like the salsa to the pork. I've been trying out this new recipe for our pork tacos and I must say, I'm really happy with it. Moving on into release day, I'm going to start the day off with another workout. I'm going to focus on shoulders for this day. So if you kind of see my rotation, I go from like back to upper body to lower body and then repeat. So Friday is going to be about shoulders. And then after my morning routine, I'm going to do a few things before the new releases go up, which they are going to be released at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will have quite a few things being listed. Like I said, if you haven't joined my Facebook group, I will have everything listed out there for you to see exactly what's coming to the shop. After that new release, I'm going to work on some emails and comments just because I typically get quite a few of those after I make a release. And then I'm going to be working on packing orders probably until the rest of the day goes by. And if I have anything outstanding, I can just go ahead and get it done. And then before I head off to the post office, I'm going to have a little lunch break, and I think I'm going to probably make noodles on Friday. We've been enjoying spicy ramen as well, and if we have any leftover pork from the day before, I will definitely be adding that into my ramen. And then just because it is Friday night, I'm going to take one of my heart icons and just designate a space for the date night that my boyfriend and I will likely have. If we don't have it on Friday, we have it on Saturday, so I just like to put it on Friday because it's easier and usually is when we both have time to spend together. It doesn't always happen, but having it written down reminds me that I need to take time to dedicate to my relationship. And then moving on into the weekend, I don't really have a whole lot I want to write down just because I'd like to leave space for adding things as the week goes on. Obviously, things get canceled, things move around, whatever. But for Sunday, I know I want to do a leg day just because that's typically the day I do my heaviest workout because I have the most time for recovery. And then on Saturday, I do want to do a little bit of work in the morning, just make sure everything's still going okay on my website, answering emails, any orders I need to fulfill. And then I have a few things I want to prep for my video that's going up on Sunday as well. For the rest of Saturday, I'm going to do some meal prep. This is mainly for our dogs. We have been making their food consistently now. We've been doing like rice and eggs and yogurt and things like that. One of our dogs is having really bad digestive issues, and switching her to very bland foods has helped tremendously. But after meal prepping, I'm going to spend the rest of the day reading a good book next to our fireplace, and I am very excited to finish the series that I am currently reading, which is, like I said, The Shadow and Bone. Don't know if I'm going to have too much time to read this week, but I know that by the weekend I will spend time for sure finishing it. And then the last thing that I want to get done is on Sunday, I want to ink up my pens that I have selected for February, and I will be sharing those in a future video as well. Alrighty, that is it for my little plan with me for next week. I'm really happy with all of the purple. The purple is making me really satisfied. I love this Jane Eyre ink. I love this washi tape shop purple flowers, and the purple notebook therapy washi is really great with it as well. If you have any questions about any of the supplies I used today, please feel free to ask. I am always happy to provide any links that I can. But other than that, I want to thank you so much for watching, for joining me here today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.